Hello everybody, this is Joseph Propati and I'm going to be doing a video today on my new game, 9-Card Dungeon Quest. Now, this is a game I created for the 9-card P&P design contest that's going on right now at Board Game Geek. So if you want to check it out, go ahead and head to that website and you'll be able to find this game and other games that are already being created for the contest. So check them out and play them and give some feedback. So, my game, 9-Card Dungeon Quest. This is kind of a game that's built upon the premise of the original board game, Dungeon Quest. It's not that same game, but it kind of has that concept where in this game, you are a thief and you're trying to make your way through the dungeon to get to the dragon's chamber. When you get into the dragon's chamber, you're going to try and steal that dragon's gold, and then before you wake him up, you get a certain number of tries, and each try will be a percentage chance of you actually taking the gold and not waking the dragon. And then if you do, you take damage, and then you'll have to make your way back. And that's that third phase. You have one phase, get to the chamber. Second phase is dealing with the treasure in the chamber, and then the third phase is getting back to the exit. So in this game, there's no monsters. It's all traps that you'll be dealing with as you're heading through the dungeon. It's dexterity based, so you'll be placing cards on top of other cards to create a path to get to that chamber and create another path to get back to the exit. One of the things is your exit and your entrance, they'll have the same location, so as you get out, you got to make your way back to the same spot, but you cannot use the same path. You're going to generate a new one. You have ideas where you're moving, you're creating your path, you're moving. You are, in this game, it's point-based, so you're trying to beat your score. You want to be able to get the highest score, so you earn points by moving around. Cards have point ranges on them. As you can see, you have 5 blanks are 1, you have 5, 20, you have 15, and you have 10. So these, as you move through these spaces, you will earn points, and then as you find treasure, you'll get points, and then when you get to the dragon's chamber and you steal treasure, you'll get points. So you're going to be trying to gain as many points as you can when you win the game. There are 2 ways to die in the game. You have a character that has health, and as you take damage, if you get to 0, you lose the game. If anytime you're trying to escape from the dragon's chamber on that third phase back to the exit, if you run out of the 7 cards and don't make it back, or can't create a path to get back to the exit, you also lose the game. If you can make it back to the exit, and this is the entrance and exit spots for this card, you will, and if you do this before you reach 0, then you will mark up your score, and then we'll see how you match up to see how great your thief is. The components to the game, you have 7 cards, and they are made up of 1 card that is the health track and your point track. Then you have another one that is the marker for your entrance and your exit. And it also takes or represents the dragon's chamber, where the treasure is. And then these 7 are your front and back cards that are used to create the dungeon path. So these are your dungeon cards. And these are always placed horizontally. And I'll explain that. But then we have our little mini meeple, that's your player piece. And that will always start on the entrance. Let's put this correct. Right here in the entrance. And we have our 4 dice. They're some polyhedral dice. You have a D12, D20, a D6, and a D10. These represent damage that you take from traps as you're making your way through the dungeon. Finally you have cubes. Now these are colored cubes. You have 4 of them. White, blue, red, and black. These are represented by the dice. The yellow ones, these 3 track your points. The 2 green will track your health. And then these 2 gold or yellow are chests that you can find in the dungeon. And then last but not least, we have an orange, which tracks where your exit is. So once you get to the chamber, you know, you'll have to use this card. So this will kind of mark where that exit is. And then as you make your way back, you know, you'll put that card back here. And then you'll make your way back. Once you've used that marker to say where it is, you can put this in the cup and it becomes a potion. So if you find it on one of the paths, you can use that to heal up. So these are the 24 components. Like I said, the contest parameters are 9 cards and 24 components, up to. So these are the components of the game, and let me go over the setup of the game. Okay, so this is Joe again, and this is covering the setup of my game, 9-card dungeon quest. So we have our tracker card. We take our 2 green, and in the beginning game, on the easy level, set it to 99. That's how much health you have to get through the dungeon and make it out alive to win the game and get your points. To change the level, how hard the game is, you can decrease the amount of health your thief has. You can go from 88, 77, 66. You just mark it down, and the farther you go down, the harder the game gets. So this is something that you can use to change the actual level or difficulty of the game. So we put our 4 dice over here, just set them off to the side. Take 3 yellow, or this could be any color if you want. You don't have to be specifically yellow. And you put 1 on each track for the 1s, the 10s, and the 100s, right above the 0. That's your 0 starting points. Then we go ahead and take the 1 dungeon card that has the entrance and exit locations on it, and put your little green mini meeple right on the entrance. Kind of put it in the middle of the table, that's fine. Take your 7 other cards and just shuffle them up. Don't worry about flipping them, because you are the one that will get to do that on your turn when you draw them. So it doesn't really matter. All it needs to do is just be shuffled up a little bit. I set those off. Then we take the orange one, just set it up aside. It'll be used a little later. And then all the rest of these, put them in a bag or in a cup. And then mix them up, because these will be drawn at random. And there you have it. This is the game setup for 9-card dungeon quest. Once you got this point, you're ready to go. So what we'll do is we'll lead into the actual gameplay instructions and mechanics of how the game plays. I'll do that in the next section. Alright, so now we are going to cover the rules of the game and how the game is played. So once you have your starting position, the game's ready to play. Again, there's 3 phases. So in the first phase, we're going to work out our path to the dungeon chamber. And the way that works is you draw a card, top card, and you can use either side, right? But there's rules to how these cards can be placed. 1, you can flip it, you can rotate it, but you cannot place a card vertically. You can't place it like this. Every card has to be placed horizontally. Okay? It has to either be on top or next to the previous card, depending on where your player piece is at. So when you start the game, you cannot cover this exit space. You only have these 3 spaces to start from. And the way you're going to create your path is you're going to be using another space next to that starting place where your character piece is to create a path. So it could be this, or it could be this way. You could do this, or you could do this. Okay? Now when you move, you can't move diagonally. You can only move vertical or horizontal. So when you create this path, you can't do something like this because there's no path generated. So there has to be a connection space to where your piece is. And then once you decide how you want to lay it down, so if I go, okay, I'm going to do this, right? And I have a legal path, well then I have to see if there was any traps triggered, or if there's a chest that could be found. So we draw a cube. Oh, look, I got a chest. So the way a chest is placed out, you do a d6, And then just count the spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here, this chest is on 1. So if I can reach that chest, I can get that. And chests are worth 25 points, 25 gold. Golds is basically points. So movement is points, gold is points. But here it is, and I have to get to it. Now, you're either going to have a trap that you trigger, or it's going to be a gold or a potion once it gets in. But now you're ready to actually move. And movement is also how you get your points. And the way it works is every space you move into is a point. So 1 and 2. Now, you can backtrack through spaces during that movement. So if you had a space here, you could go 1, 2, 3, and then 15 for 18. But you don't, as you cross over, you don't keep adding up. You don't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then add 15. No, it's just whatever spaces you go into, 1 point for blanks, and then whatever the value is on the space, and you add it up. So like on here, I would have 2 points. So I would add 2 points that I've earned, right? And then I grab my next card. And one of the rules, the next rule is you can't place a card over a previous path, okay? Already the past turn that you had, I cannot cover the entrance or these two, basically any of these spaces. So I couldn't do this, right? I can't create a space and do this. That I've already been through the space. So I either have to generate a new path here, or I can flip it like this and go like this. Just, you can't cover anything that's existing. Now I want to try and get to this. So if I can do something like this, this is legal, right? And once I have it placed, now I have to see was anything triggered. So draw from the bag. Oh, look at that, another gold. So we draw 5. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right? Now, the cards have been updated, so every single card only has 6 spaces on it. And the new sheets that you'll find or that you download, these are fixed. These are some old cards, but there's only a couple of them I have in here that have 6. The rest of them have 7, but all of them will have 6. So you use a D6 to count out. So that's not a problem. So now I will move, right? And I can go 1, and there's 5, so that's 6, 7, 8. We'll mark those points off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then I get this chest. Now remember, chests are 25, so I just add my 25, right? And then this goes right back in. Shake it up. All right? And then I'm on to my next turn. So now I gotta remember though, this is my existing path, so I can't cover it. So when I draw my next one, I either have to start the movement from here, or if I want to get to this chest, I could do something like this. But again, once you place a card, now I picked a white, so I triggered a white trap. And I would roll, and I take 3 damage. So I go 1, 2, 3. So that finally got me a damage, and I put it right back in there. I get to move now, so I'd go 1, that's 16, right? 17, and then I move into here. 17, that's 27, 37, right? Plus the chest. So I'd mark off my points, 1, 2, 3 for 10s, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I have my 25, 2, 1, 2, 4, 5. So, and again, right back in there. Remember, when you get to the dragon's chamber, you're going to have to get back here. So you don't want to go too far out. You kind of want to stay close. So once you draw your cards and you place them, as long as these haven't been covered, I still have this ability to do this. So let's say we're moving right and we're doing this. You know, we've got a couple of let's see, we'll do this. I kind of want to get that 10 in there. So here, and as you move, if you do something like this, okay? That has two ends. You can decide, do you want to stop on this one or do you want to stop on this one? You pick, okay? Can't be this middle one, it has to be one of the end pieces. Now, since I'm trying to stay over here, I would probably want to go and be on this one. But remember, I also might want to get this 20 points, and a simple thing like this would get me there. So I'd be able to go here, right? But then I can also end my turn here. Now I have my path, right? And I've hit my last card. Now what I want to do is I want to mark, we're into phase 2. And I have to use this card. So here we're going to mark it, right? Don't lose that. We can take these out of the way, flip it over, and now you attach it to any one of these 4, right? It could be this one, or it could be this one. You can't put it over that one because that's part of your path. So I'll say let's do this one because look, it's much closer. And since my paths were over here, I'm okay. But put it down, if you could, before you take these, make sure when you're placing this that it still, again, it doesn't cover any of your previous path. Mine were all over here, so I'm okay. And just to be on the safe side, we'll do this. Now I know I definitely have not covered anything. I'll place it into here. We take all 7 of these, right? Because now that we're in the second phase, we'll go ahead and we'll just shuffle these up. Place those down. And now we go into the dragon chamber phase, trying to steal gold. So right now the dragon's asleep and you have a percentage chance. Now the way this works is you have 5 chances that you can try and steal gold. The very first time you steal, you've got a 90% chance. So as long as you roll 90 or lower, you're good. You get 25 gold. If you try again, you get 75% chance, 70 or lower, but you can steal 50 gold. You do a third time, you got a 50% chance, but now it's 100 gold. You go through a fourth time, that's a 30% chance, but now it's a 200 point earn, 200 gold pieces. And on your last one, if you want to do that last 5th one, it's only a 10% chance of getting success, but you will earn 400 gold. So high risk, high chance for gold. Okay? So now if you get the gold, right? Or if you wake the dragon, let's say you wake the dragon. Well, now you're going to take damage. So you will take damage from all 4 dice. That's the total amount of damage you're going to take. So on here you got 24, 28, 29, right? So 2, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 79, right? So that was a big hit. And now you're forced out of there. You got to go. You don't have a chance to go back in. But you've got your gold, unless you messed up on the first one. But you woke the dragon, and now he's after you. So you got to get out of there. So you got to pick one of these spots. You can pick this one or this one. You can pick any one of these, but you want to try and get the ones closest to you, right? And now you've got these shuffled up. You're going to work your way back to here. So let's draw the first one. And we want to pick something that's going to get us some points. So we'll do this, right? But again, when you place a card, oh, we lucked out. Got a treasure. 1, 2. All right, so we put our chest down. Now we go do our run, right? Got our gold, we add it up. And now we can take this one off and set it up into here. All right? Once this is placed, we can use this now as a potion and put it in the bag. So every time you grab an orange, it's the same thing. You'll roll to see what's in on the path, but once you get it, you can use it as a healing potion, and it's a D12 healing. Okay, so just be aware of that. Now, we want to make it back. We got to make it back to here, and again, you're going to create a path, so you have to be aware of how well your path is and the points you make, right? So you kind of help line these up. Now on this one we would roll again. Let's say so we're on phase 3, the escape phase. So do a black. That would be a D20. Lucky roll. Now I could do this whole run again, right? Add all these points up and then go here. Now I pick another one. I could do this, all right? See what I get. A white, I would roll the D10 for damage. Now I can do my points. And this is, I've got a really lucky path. I'm only one away, so this is going to be a really good one for me. I go here, and there we go. I made it. Get my 4 points. Well, see what kind of damage I'd have. I'd do 12. So as long as I didn't lose enough damage to go to 0, I made it out. I got a really lucky path. So I got it. I was out. I was successful. I made it out of the dungeon. Now I would look at how many points I am and then see where I am on the chart of how well my thief did. But again, if I would have ran out of these cards, if I would have had a really bad path and ran out, I'd be lost and stuck in the dungeon forever. Or if I went down to 0, I'd also be, I would be dead and I would lose the game. So those are the two ways you can lose. And once you get out, then you have your total points. So that is kind of the rules of how the game is played for a 9-card Dungeon Quest. So what I'm going to do is, on another video, I'm going to do a full playthrough so you can see how the game's played, and then you can check it out. But again, this is for the 9-card PNP design contest on Board Game Geek. If you go there, there's a working thread, a work in process thread for my game. You'll find the files there where you can download the PDF that has the cards and the rules, and it will have links to everything. If you saw this video, if you're looking at this on YouTube, then I'll have all the information in the link below that you can go to the site. But please go to the site. There's a lot of other people that are creating games. There's a lot of great games out there already. The contest has just started on the 1st, so we're going to be going through to May. So I hope that you can go check out other people's games, play them, give some comments. It is the 9-card, the 2022 9-card PNP design contest on Board Game Geek. Take a look and see what, and help everybody out. Give some comments. But I appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and you can give my game a play and give me some comments. Or if you see some things on this video you can comment, just put them down below. If you like the video, go ahead and like it. And if you want to subscribe, I'd appreciate it. I'm always doing different videos. Tag that bell and you'll see the new stuff that I'm always putting out. So thank you for watching, and until next time.